the first quarter of actually not even that shit. We just deep in this shit, really. What I'm talking about. All right, we're about to get it in. It is sprint qualifying. Qualifying has been one of the most interesting events since even last season. I'll say that it's been one of the most interesting events even since last season. Right now we're in China. Drivers have not been here for some time. So we're going to be looking to see how these teams do, not to mention not being here for some time. They're going to be here on a sprint weekend, which means they're going to have less time to get used to the track. The track has had a considerable amount of changes. There are drivers that have not been here, so that's another thing. So we got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to show you right now. Nothing is going on track right now. We do have 12 minutes on that clock. Do keep in mind, sprint qualifying is a bit different than typical qualifying. I don't like something though. They are doing a mandatory tire allocation. I will say good morning to Sylvia Witt Kelly as she is first in the live chat. Good morning, Sylvia Witt Kelly. How are you doing? Typically, most times it's Mary Beanie. Sylvia Witt Kelly getting here before the early bird. But I will say that I don't like that they took away the hard tire. It's just two mediums and then you could go to soft. I like when they have hard tire, medium, and then soft for the final round of qualifying. I think they should keep that in place. I know what their reasons are for that, but I still believe that, hey, you still got to bang it out, okay? As it sits right now, we do have 28.5 degrees Celsius. Winds are 2.2 kilometers an hour due west. We have 20 degrees, 20.1 Celsius air temp, and we have 34% humidity, which means I don't think we have rain in sight for right now. So that's a plus. No rain in sight right now. Typically, we've been seeing around 50 to 60% on that. X-Trax 38 popping in. What's going on? So not seeing that. Now, if you didn't see FP1, FP1's classifications are right here, which is very odd, and it's going to seem odd. But yeah, Lance Stroll sitting at the top. Albon right now is first out on track, just to show you that the drivers are starting to go out on track right now. So here you go. Drivers are out on track. Nothing major is going to happen on this first few laps. So let's just cover up these classifications for right now and see what actually happened just moments ago. So Lance Stroll up there first, Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen, Sergio, Nico, Kevin, K-Mac, Haas is up there. That's not going to last. If it does last, then it's got to be a mixture of circuit they haven't been to in a while, a lot of changes, teams haven't dialed in. Now, do keep in mind, some of the reasons why people, even myself, favor situations like this is you do get to have a window where you'll see teams that often don't perform as good as the bigger teams. You'll see that those other teams might have the ability to adjust in a smaller window, in a more challenging window. But what you probably will see as time goes out, you'll see that they will not have the ability to keep that they won't have the ability to keep that going for a prolonged period, So it is still nice to see that, hey, these opportunities or these challenges give smaller teams the ability to kind of get in there in the fold, so say. But as time goes on, we'll see them kind of fade to the back. They'll fade to the mean. Now, of course, they still have that opportunity in the sprint, to still kind of take advantage of that position they have. But then this goes about what we were talking about. Hamilton's out on track right now. No push lap, 10 minutes to go already. The clock's wind down. We were at 12, we're at 10 minutes. This qualifying sprint session is probably going to go by as fast as the word sprint. It's probably going to go by fast. Now, I want to see if Stroll's actually going to pop to the top at any point in time as he was in FP1. I want to see if that's going to happen, or pretty much his time's going to be wrecked on the first push lap of whomever may get out there. So that also is going to be interesting to me. Albon right now at the top. A lot of jokes and a lot of sarcasm going on with that as far as Albon and Logan Sargent probably needing a tandem car, and that would be funny as shit. But yeah, if that maybe Williams saves money by doing that. And then it's almost like the rookie veteran quarterback concept. Logan will be able to literally sit behind Alex Albon and learn. And Williams will be able to save on the cost cap by having only one car if it goes out. And then they will legitimately have a replacement car that they could just hop right in. So that's something that could be a possibility. I don't know. Maybe that's something they look at doing for real. But I probably will have that meme coming up during qualifying or maybe even finale lap. But right now, Albon, Zhou having his home race, which is really cool to him, really cool for him and his family, having to relocate their son in order to give him a fair chance at getting into Formula One, and all of that paid off. Right now, Pia to the top of the charts as 8-minute goes. They are on medium compound tires. Pia is up there. Ocon from Alpine coming over there, a team that has struggled mightily. Ocon and Alpine have struggled mightily. Ocon is not the reason for that struggle. I believe Alpine as an organization is. Right now, Albon kicking back up to first place, laying those purple sectors. Remember, get your purple sectors merch. Order that down below. Get your cap, get your hat. Don't forget Butterfly Racing is on the shelves. Pick yourself up one. Support a young Carter, and all of those money for the shirts go towards her karting racing season. So big shout out for that. Already this week alone, getting ready and prepped for the race. I have spent $700 already this week alone getting prepped for this race. And then when we go into this race this Saturday, with registration fees and everything else, I will likely be just about $250. Hopefully, I won't have to buy anything else there, and then we'll be straight. The last race we spent over $500. Big shout out to Cornbread, definitely supplying and OG Zilla and them, putting the money up. Hey, say, grab some food on us. You know what I'm saying? So that was nice, and that was nice of the fam. Big shout out to you all for that. And yeah, we're getting it in right here. Let's go to Hamilton at the top of the boards. Now, keep in mind, 137. Stroll's time in FP1 was 136. So we're going to see that fade. 136, Charles Leclerc lays it up. Stroll's time was a 136.3. We're looking for that 136. We're looking for that 135. Let's just be real. If Stroll can lay down a 136, I think legitimately we're looking for a 135. Sylvia with Kelly back in there. I was trying to say good morning to you, Sylvia with Kelly. Now I see you up in there. Who else is in here from the fam? X-Trax 38 popping into the live, checking in this early morning. What's going on, brother? How you doing? The fam is popping in. Blue badges are alive and on deck. What's popping? So, yeah, right now, Leclerc running to the top. Leclerc saying that, hey, Charles is saying, listen, I know. Charles admitting that Carlos has been the stronger driver, and Charles saying, I got to do better. And he said he plans to do better at this event, the China GP. We're going to see if that's true. Right now, over one lap pace so far in round one of the sprint quali, he's at the top of the boards. Will it stay that way? I tend to think maybe not. But also remember this. Alonso popping it with a 136.88, only not even 3,000ths of faster than Charles Leclerc, getting him up there. Stroll going to fourth. We've yet to see him at the top of the charts. And at this time, he has yet to be able to let Verstappen, there he goes. Verstappen is in there. I was going to say, where is he? But I was going to also say this. Red Bull last season showing that they had issues or problems, or it was very difficult for them to dial in a small, condensed, challenging window. We will see if that still remains the same. Perez right now popping to the chart, busting up that Lance Stroll FP1 time by damn 0.2 of a second. And we will see if he holds that. Perez also another driver that has been performing well given where his place is to perform. Perez is looked at as the number 2 driver. Red Bull only want him to be a number 2 driver. And a lot of people would like to see a Perez in one of the fastest car. We say one of the fastest car because we think Verstappen is faster than that car. Why? Because they gear this car, they angle this car toward Verstappen's ways. So we're going to see what happens there. Perez, a lot of people want to see if he can challenge for the World Driving Championship. And I'm not sure if that's something that Perez can do because he hasn't really done it besides for the first few races last season. And then he had a cliff that he just totally jumped off on. We got the Alpine drivers right now seeming that they're going to come around track. Logan Sargent is in a prove it, make it or break it year. He's in a make it or break it season. If Logan Sargent doesn't perform well, I don't see any reason why, and I would be absolutely shocked if Williams don't can him and pick up somebody else. But we'll see what happens here. Bestie Esty right now leading the way for Alpine, so long as maybe he wants to lead the way. It's not guaranteed that he will lead the way, so we'll see what happens there. But big shout out to that. So we'll go from there. Lando Norris leading the way from McLaren on Pia. Valtteri, now listen, Zhou is at his home track. I definitely don't want to see Zhou DNF, DQ'd. I want to see him finish out, and I would even like to see Zhou get that last spot or maybe even higher, because I got to be realistic with where the team has really been. So saying win a race is just not realistic at all. That's beyond wishful and hopeful thinking, especially as Zhou qualified right here at 11th. So can he just, creep up in front of Valtteri and maybe get that final point at his home GP? That would be something awesome. He won't get a win. They won't get a win this entire season. It would have to be a monstrosity of cataclysmic events for Zhou or anybody in a lime green and black car on track to win a race event. And that's either one of those drivers. And I feel the same way about Red Bull Visa Cash App, which is one hell of a name. I feel the same way just about Mercedes. I don't think Mercedes are going to be putting themselves in any position, or they have put themselves in a position to even win a race. As you see right there, Lewis Hamilton in 11th, Perez up to 1, and Norris creeping in front to split the Red Bulls at number 2. Right now, we got 2 minutes left on the clock. These drivers are not even pressed at this point in time. As I said earlier, Stroll has not been to the top of the charts, I don't believe, at any point in time in this actual event right here for qualifying. He also has not clipped his time with that 136.3. But Perez has 136.1, 0.2 off of that. Verstappen is damn near a 10th away from Perez. We'll see if that continues. And Carlos, the driver who has been the boss of Ferrari, is still sitting behind Charles Leclerc in 5th at this point in time. And Charles Leclerc is saying that he declares he is going to do better this event. And we're going to see if that's true. If that's the case, we need to see it all the way throughout every event. We need to see him do better in the sprint. We need to see him do better in the race. We need to see him finish higher. We need to see him on podium. Charles is the driver that's going to lead Ferrari into the future. Next season, he will be coupled with the GOAT, Lewis Hamilton, and he will be able to learn a bit more from a well-seasoned, well-accomplished driver. And let me say that helmet is mighty nice. Is that Albon with the Panda helmet? That shit it looks crazy, but that's actually pretty fucking cool. That is pretty cool with the eyes on it. So the Panda looking forward, that is a nice helmet. That's a nice lid. Always some creative lids to be seen when these drivers get out here on track. So that's really cool. Right now, as we also saw, Esteban and Daniel Ricciardo up in front of Yuki, 9th at 12th in free practice 1. Now we will see Danny Rick is still leading Tsunoda. Tsunoda is sitting down at the bottom, Danny Rick in 12th. This is also, keep in mind, some of these drivers have never performed here at Formula One. So some of these drivers are just getting baptized into what it is to be a Shanghai and race here. So that's a challenge for them. Drivers like Logan Sargent, I even believe possibly Zhou in a Formula One car, Piastri in a Formula One car. So although they haven't been here for a while, if you've never been here, that's still a one-up for drivers that have been here. So it's less of them getting to know the entire track because some changes have happened, and more of them saying, hey, I just got to get used to it in this flag. Right there, the clock is zeroed out. The drivers that will not make it in to sprint quali round 2 at this point in time, unless they're still making their push lap, is Albon, Ocon, Russell, Sargent, and fucking Tsunoda. Hey, Russell is still out here pushing. He's got an opportunity to still make it up out of this troubled zone. We saw Lewis Hamilton before go out in Q2. Is it possible here that Russell's going to go out in Q1? And if he does go out in Q1, will people heavily criticize Russell for that, just as they'd like to criticize Lewis Hamilton for any of his mishaps or shortcomings? We'll see about that. It's been a double standard this entire time, so I don't know why the double standard was stopped, because some people are just stuck in their double standard racist ways. I didn't say that. Yeah, I did say that. I just whispered it. Russell pop into 12 says, no, I will not go home in SQ1. Big shout out. Hamilton going over to 10th, kicking Pia to 11th to finish out SQ1. Ooh. Ooh, there we go, right there, dialing it up. And then Valtteri saying, "What's up, mate? My old buddy, my bestie friend. I will give you a picture of my ass in a stream." And that only lasts for a minute, but he still sits up there. Pia going over to fifth. Hey, Pia is my other driver. Definitely Pia. I think he's got some talent. I think McLaren's got to do better with the car to give this young gentleman an opportunity to show him what he can really do. I believe that he is held back due to the machinery, not his ability. And definitely, I would also like to say that China is an awesome GP. It's an awesome circuit. Awesome circuit. It just has a lot of the snells, the closed, and the radius is turns. You know what I'm saying? The increasing and decreasing radius turns. I think it has a lot to offer. There's a lot of in that package. So as it sits right here, Gasly, Ocon, Albon. Oh, basically, let me just say this: all of Alpine, all of Williams, and Yuki out of here. Yuki out of here, which is crazy. That is crazy. Yuki is going out. Danny Rick will go on. A lot of people wondering if Yuki was going to continue on this streak of outperforming Danny Rick. And I'm going to say this, even if he doesn't this event, he's done so enough that he still gets that credit. And there's a fire on track right now. The track is literally on fire. The track's literally on fire. I don't know what the hell's happening, but the track is literally on fire right now at the end of SQ1. That is wild and crazy. Yo, that's shit. Hey, I said yesterday in the pod, if you didn't hear that, go back and listen to it. There were some things in there about the contract of Alonso, of Hamilton, how I thought things definitely seem as a double standard, that this could be a crazy event. And right there, the track's on fire already as it sits. So where was Stroll? Stroll ends up ninth. He goes into SQ2, but Stroll does not top the charts as he did in FP1. So yeah, that was a figment of a short-lived reality imagination, if there is ever so a combination of words that would put something together. So yeah, Stroll just reverting back to himself. I don't think that he's going to outperform Alonso at any point in time during the season, unless something happens to Alonso, like he gets sick, his car is not up to par, something like that. I still do like the Red Bull Visa Cash App livery. It's almost IndyCar-esque to me, so I do like it. Very, very dynamic in its ways and its design and the way the colors flow in and out of each other. So that's cool. Ocon sitting right there. Okay, they get ready to get him pushed out. So as it sits right here, the driver's not making it in. All of Alpine, all of Williams is out of there, and Yuki Tsunoda. And right there, ooh, Logan Sargent looking like he just ruined that car. Probably killed that floor right there. He probably really did kill that floor. I'm telling you, Logan Sargent is on a make it or break it season, and he's not doing himself any favors. Right now, there is an incident involving Sainz and Stroll, Tsunoda and Russell and Hamilton noted failing to follow race direction instructions, maximum delta time. So right there, I'm gonna say this. I would be very surprised if the stewards do anything about that. So they're noting it. Now they are indeed incident involving them after the session, failing to follow race instruction, maximum delta. We'll see if anything comes of that. All right. It says will be investigated after the session. I think because you have so many drivers involved in that right there being noted. And if you only had Hamilton in there, I bet you that definitely something will probably happen. But the point that you got Sainz, Stroll, Tsunoda, Russell, maybe not. If you had Max Verstappen in there, surely not. Surely they don't. They note it, but we probably won't even hear anything else about it. You probably have to go into the documentation to see anything if it was done or basically no further action. And we'll see if that holds true. But we saw it last season, when Max just repeatedly impeded the pit lane. And when he was involved, drivers, they just pretty much let it go. When he had already done it multiple times and he should have been penalized for it, at least he did not get penalized for that. So we'll see if this is the case. And likely we see most time if it's just Hamilton and one other driver, and that other driver is somebody who Hamilton was involved in with that incident, penalties will fall down. And that's just real. That's just a real situation. That's just facts. We've seen it happen time and time again. Yuki being in there wouldn't matter a damn bit. If it was Yuki and Hamilton, likely they'll come down with it. But the fact you got Russell, Stroll, and Sainz in there probably changes that. Right now, yellow flag conditions, nothing happening right now. So Mercedes would ultimately disrespect to Lewis Hamilton If you did not see that pod, go ahead and watch that about the contract that Alonso was offered, a contract that Max was offered, and the contract situations or stipulations that were not offered to Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes. And I'm not even sure if they were offered, he would want that shit because Mercedes is absolutely doing a horrible job. So not even sure if it's something you really want, Ham. Just keeping it real. Might not be something you want to get up on. All right, right now we are going into SQ2. This track is showing to be a bit of a challenge. Yellow flag conditions out there. Indeed, we did have a fire on the grass. Also, by the way, they took away a good portion of here. You get a get out of jail free card on the track. Turf is gone and kitty litter is in. And I like that idea. I like that idea over them maybe even thinking about doing sausage curbs because I don't all the way like removal of the sausage curb because I think that you should be penalized. But they have been a safety issue at times. Okay, they have created, although I can't say they created it. The drivers create the situation because they're trying to go off track. But you're able to go off track to a degree, and sausage curbs don't really lend well to go off track at any degree. And at points in times, they have been an ingredient in an event or a situation between drivers being pretty rough, okay, and pretty unsafe. So yeah, I do like the fact put in some grass. All right, we saw what happened to Perez before when he got the tires on the grass. He lost it, spun out. Put in kitty litter. We're definitely going to see that. It's going to slow you down. If anything, and it's going to dirty your tires up. It's going to give you a penalty that will likely not be as catastrophic as a sausage curb. And right now, it seems like people are starting to put on ponchos. Where I said that we weren't going to have to worry about rain, we're at 36% humidity. And evidently, things might be different over there in China when you see 36. 36 here, you're not going to see any damn rain. Over there, maybe not so much. And also, this could be track location and storm area location. Oftentimes, in a geographical location, you can have a cycle of storms where they pretty much kind of gather there before they head back out into the world to drop. And, you'll often see that in tracks located by what you might call rainforest areas, and that will happen. So maybe that is the same case here, but 36%, I didn't think we'd see any rain, and it looks like people in the stands are getting prepared to get wet. So evidently I was wrong there. 36% in China is different. It's almost like 50% of what will happen anywhere else. So yeah, the clock's not reset yet. We should see, I believe, 10 minutes back on the clock. I think it goes 12, 10, and then 8. We should see 10 minutes. At this point in time, they will be on medium compound tires. Like I said, I wish they would have kept it the same, the tire allocation, hard, medium, soft. But they're going to go medium, medium, soft. So they're going to come back out on another set of medium tires. Then they will be able to go on soft tires for the final stint of our sprint quali, and we'll see what everybody really, really can do right now in these track conditions. Now, mind you, only one FP1 session, so they're technically still trying to get. Damn, a Haas almost unsafely released. They're just cutting them off, and Ferrari said, "I'm not going to have that from the other Haas, even though you are like mini-me team." But rushing to get ready to get back out here. Now, if this precipitation or whatever is happening here, because humidity hasn't even kicked up one scotch. Okay, it hasn't kicked up one scotch. The pressure has, but not the humidity. But if this continues, do we have opportunity where we're going to see drivers have to go back into the pits, get off mediums, get on inters, just to continue on with this qualifying session? That's going to be an entirely different type of challenge going on. And not to mention, that's going to throw another challenge into just the overall grand scheme of these teams getting prepared for not only the sprint, but race quali and then going into the race. So a lot of things to be concerned with here. The track has now been cleared in Sector 8, so evidently they've put that out, or maybe the moisture had put it out itself. But we're about to see this go on. The clock now is reset to 10 minutes. We are reset to 10 minutes. Once again, drivers in risk of not making it into SQ3 at this point in time as it sits. And as you see it on the board, will be Valtteri, Hamilton, Russell, Ricciardo, and Zhou. These drivers are just starting out. I'm just highlighting and pointing out the red area here is where you will see drivers not make it into the nice, clear gradient area there. So just keep that in mind. Both McLaren cars ready to go. It looks like Max Verstappen is Perez. Perez is still in the garage. I don't think Red Bull are in any rush just to go out right now. They don't have to rush. I mean, at this point in time, Perez is at the top of the charts. Max Verstappen is in third. Is there no way that he gets by Lando? Sure, there's a way he gets by Lando. One, because he's faster than Lando, and two, because Lando is Max Verstappen's personal doorman. He just opens the door anytime Max Verstappen wants to come through and race him. So that is what we'll see. Lewis Hamilton, big heads in the stand. Can't go anywhere without seeing that guy's face because that guy is loved by many across the world, especially fans. Now, how that goes so much in the paddock and situations like that, well, we see how that's kind of going right now. But we are looking at rain possibly gathering up. They need to get this session on. Like, I don't care. I don't care that rain's coming. It's not raining right now to say that. They can go out here and then make them pit. I think that that's what needs to happen. All of this cuddling and get the shit on the road. Open the pit. The time has started. Now we're legitly going. Let's get these cars out on track. Sometimes Formula One cracks me up. Listen, we got wets, which just are tryhards. These wet tires are tryhards. They're just all overachievers. The wets are so much of an overachiever. In rain conditions, they're just too much. And I don't care. I don't care. Put them out on track and they have to deal with that shit. I don't want to see any of this, oh, okay, we don't want y'all to go out. No, get the hell out of here. See, and here we go. With some teams are backing, looks like, is McLaren going to head out or what? Shit. I mean, it's the light green. The light's green. We got a green light. There we go. Let's get out on track and get this party going. Damn it. Sheesh Louise. All right, here we go. Lando out on track. Cars lining up. It is a cluster. This is how traffic goes. And afterward, like, look, nobody wants to let anybody by. I think that's Joe Valtteri, Ricardo's like, no, you're not going to get in front of me. That's how it is in like regular day-to-day traffic. You'll have that asshole who knows this lane ends and you're in the lane that doesn't end, and they know it ends. And there's plenty of space behind you, but they just don't want to get in behind you. So they want to try to get up here and cut you off. I'm going to ride your ass out. I'm going to ride you out. And I'm going to force you to go to the end, and you're going to have to get behind me anyway, or you're going to put your blinker on. You're going to look at me and say, hey, can I get in, please? Can I get in? And I might let you in then. But damn it, don't try to cut the line in front of everybody, knowing damn well this lane ends and think I'm just going to let you in there. Hell no. Oh, no. And I can't stand people when you're getting on the highway. This is the entry lane. This is my opportunity to get up to speed to get on the fucking freeway. And you're in that lane. You know that lane's coming because I have to merge. And instead, you want to speed up there to impede me getting on the highway. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ride your ass out. I've literally rode in that lane side by side, splitting that lane. Show them, hey, I'm all about the fucking smoke. I'm all about the smoke. We can ride in this lane together. I want to see how far you want to take me to push me off the highway to see what's going to go on. And you know what happens? I edge them out every time because you're wrong. And I know I'm right. But one day I'm going to run up against that person and say, you know what? I'm going to ride this fucking lane till we can. It's going to be some Dukes of Hazzard shit. I don't know. By the way, I don't really, say, hey, Dukes of Hazzard type shit because they carry the Confederate flag on top of the car. Why they let me watch that show, I don't know. But yeah, stars and bars on top of the car means you're a racist motherfucker, all right? Don't try to tell me you got stars and bars and it's all about heritage. These people fought to keep people like me in slavery, and you want me to think it's all about heritage. No, fuck that. Put that flag up. You lost the war to begin with. Just throw it away. Throw it away. This flag, this is the new flag, and it's not absolutely necessarily the best, but it is what it is. Lando and Pia to the top of the charts, 1 and 2. Will McLaren be able to hold that? I doubt it. Pia's my other driver, but I do doubt it. Leclerc popping up to number 2 right now, splitting that papaya like a fruit to a knife. Woo! Coming through there nice, too. Coming through there pressing. I like it. Joe fading back to 11th, back to the no man's land of where you go when you want to go back into the trailer and play Formula One on a damn game if he's not careful. Let's just say this. Let's set the bar realistically and kind of low. Can Joe make it into SQ3? Let's just go there. Let's just start there. I'm cool with that. Can he make it into SQ3? I think that's a valid place for him to be able to start, for us to see some type of progression there. Where was Joe? Where was Russell? Russell in FP1 was 17th, while Lewis Hamilton in FP1 was 18th. Okay, so Yeah, the both those drivers still struggling together, and that has a lot to do with the design of the car and the team's inability to find themselves in this new platform. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell. Mercedes is they stumbled, they fail. No, nothing lasts forever. I keep saying that because it's true, and they evidently are bringing that to a true definition themselves. Sainz popping up to number 3, K Mag and a Haas at number 4, while Hulk at 10th. Now, up until this point in time, and I don't even know if this still continues, Hulk has been doing far better than K Mag. And both these drivers' contracts are up next season. I don't know what Haas does. I don't know if they're going to pick up for the quality or what are they going to do. What are they going to do in some of these situations? Is Behrman going to go there, which would be, to me, I would hate to see him in that car. I just don't think it's a good situation there for a rookie. I don't think the team is heavily supportive. I don't think financially Gene Haas is really involved in being competitive in Formula One more than it is just more of an advertising token for his name to be on a Formula One track, which is exactly what Formula One said they didn't want with Andretti, which contradicts them because they're doing it with Haas. But anyway, Leclerc to the top, 135.7, 7-11, 7-11. Roll those dice. Don't strike out. That's what I'm talking about. 7-11, don't crap out, Charles. Let's see what you could do, bro. Right now, Carlos is in 4th. Charles is in 1st right now, and that doesn't last long because Verstappen, who always lays a hot lap, 135.6, a 10th faster than Charles Leclerc. And I'm going to say this. If we get a Charles and Max front row, can Charles just do better than he did in Coda last year and not get bullied like that? And on top of that, can the FIA do better at watching somebody like Max Verstappen completely push Charles way off in the pit lane exit and then damn near into the grass and give him a penalty? Can y'all step up and do your damn job? You're absolutely horrible when it comes to some drivers, and especially Max Verstappen, at assessing and giving penalties out. And it does need to stop. It's so obvious, it's egregious, and it's gonna diminish what he has been able to do later on, because people are going to say, well, they really just gave him a lot of breaks. Well, they cheated in 2021. Well, they broke the cost cap in 2022. Well, Christian Horner couldn't keep his hands to himself, but that doesn't have anything to do with Max or the team. That's Christian Horner. Actually, Max kind of pushed Christian a little bit to the side with that whole situation. That shit was kind of funny. More allegiance to Helmut Marko, the old phony racist guy. All right, so Russell right now in danger of not making it into SQ3, but we saw that bit earlier. We got 3 minutes on the clock, so he still has a little bit more time to get himself together. He is in danger of not making it, but last time he did make it. Lewis Hamilton going out in a Q2 before. Now we're in SQ2. Will that happen here? And then this is the opportunity for teams to pick up more points, and I will say this. I'm not in agreement with the sprint format, okay? I think the sprint format needs to be more geared towards competitiveness. And with competitiveness, I think how you do that is you get the teams who are always scrounging and clawing at just getting the last point, you put them up into the sprint format, because that's where we're going to see a lot of racing. These other teams are just double dipping. They can underperform and still outperform these slower teams. And with that being said, should we be doing things to just give slower teams the ability? I mean, the incentive is nice, but what you probably should do, Formula One, is reanalyze and reassess your decline of Andretti getting into the sport and say, you know what, Haas, you're not really competitive. You know what, Alpine, you're looking like shit. We're going to give you another 2 seasons to see what you're going to do. But at this point in time, Haas is who Haas is, and Haas is us. And I think that team is well beyond the point of saying, let's replace them with somebody else and see what else we can get. That's just me. That's just how I feel. So we'll see what happens. Track surface is slippery in Sector 19 and Sector 17 because we got some wetness drying down. But it is clear. It is clear right now. Track surface slippery in track Sector 6. Yo, it is traveling. There is some challenges arising here. Verstappen 1, Leclerc 2, Perez 3. What is McLaren going to do? Valtteri and Zhou sitting up here 10th. We got a yellow flag. And 13, we got, damn, it's getting out here. It's getting a little sketchy. It's getting a little sketchy right now. So things right now are about to be challenging. Look at Toto's face. This is not George Russell. There actually is rain. There is actually rain out there. So if George says, hey, it's raining, it's actually raining. But if they show rain, I don't even believe George to the point that if they showed his visor cam and I saw, I'd be like, nah, that's sweat. I need to see somebody else's visor cam. I do. I need to see it. Yo, hey, it's 1 minute and 6 seconds. Is Russell about to be out of here? That is what we're about to see. He's in the pit, 58 seconds. Going in the pit right now is just over. It's completely over. You're not going to have enough time unless they're going in to just change tires. If they're going to do tire change, it's possible that he get in and maybe get out of there in time to get another push lap. But nah, it's dead. There's no RPMs. He's done right there. No RPMs at all. Hamilton in ninth. Russell is looking. He is out of there. It is a done deal right there. I don't think anything else is going to happen. They're going to probably wheel him in. Sauber kick pushing in. Joe looking like he collected that final place to go in the SQ3. That's what I'm talking about, Joe. Show out for your fam. Show out for your peeps. Show out for your fans at your home GP. I ain't trying to rhyme there, but I did. That's what I'm saying. So tot feels like rain. We got Christopher Robbins over there. Russell, Christopher Robbins out of Winnie the Pooh. Tot feels like rain. It is actually rain this time, Russell. So you could be right if you say it, but you're out of there. Russell is out. So, Russell out in SQ2. All is even. No swap or swindle. It happened to Hamilton. It can happen to Russell surely. So anything Russell could do, Hamilton can do it better, and that's just a fact. And that even goes with this whole bull BS about Russell necessarily being better to get more out of a crappy car than Lewis Hamilton. I'll say this, maybe Russell is more closely in experience used to a shit car, but Russell having the ability more so than Lewis Hamilton to get more out of any car is just a ridiculous statement to make. It is ridiculous to make at this point in time. Just thinking about it's like, you know what? Nah, I still can't buy that. Right now on board with Lewis Hamilton on his replay, seeing what he has done to just get himself into ninth place. And if you're wondering, that lockup, that's what he did. Locked it up. Was able to get it back on track real quick and get back to it, but that time ain't going to do much for him. If you're wondering, you will be here finale lap. We will have our Mercedes race win counter. If you don't know what that looks like, let me show you. Right here, that's the race win counter. Right there, we're counting to see how many race wins Mercedes can get. And the reason why that is because me and Mercedes mechanic have a bet. His bet is that Mercedes will get 12 wins or more. My bet is Mercedes will not reach 12 wins. They will maybe 11 wins or less. And that is combined as a team. Both drivers combined in there. So some upside for Mercedes mechanic to see if that's something that he's going to be able to make happen. But not him, but the team has to make it happen. But that's what we got going on. So we'll see how true that actually holds. Lance Stroll with an indefinite contract, and why he has that contract was because his daddy owns the team. He definitely should not have that contract nor that ability because in performance, he hasn't done shit to really earn that. And I'm just keeping it real. Lance Stroll has been an indictment up on himself based on what Alonso's been able to do in that car and what Lance Stroll has not been able to do in that car. And it is awfully egregious, honestly, to me, that, Lance Stroll just can still remain to be in Formula One. I'm just saying, it's just a little crazy. It's a little crazy. It is a little bit, just a little bit. And right now, Yuki giving some press conference because he is out. Danny Rick is going to join him. Danny Rick is out now at SQ2. So Danny Rick outperforming Yuki right now in sprint qualifying. We'll see what happens in the actual sprint race. And then, well, actually, I don't think much is going to happen in the sprint race. We'll see what happens more in the actual race qualifying for the race. So we'll see what happens there. And mind you, right now, it's going to be crazy because tonight they will have the sprint race. I believe my time, like 2200, sometime 2300. And then they're going to go into the race quali that morning at 3. Now, keep in mind, we are going to be here live for race quali and quali kickback. Mary Beanie won last time, but also keep this in mind. I got a race to get to. So we're going to start quali here at 3 a.m. like we are today, like we have today, and go into that. Now, mind you, we got to 4:14 this time, and we're going to go into that. I'm going to have to promptly get off a live stream on Saturday morning because I'm going to have to load the truck up, get all the cart stuff in there, get the baby up, get her ready, get her fed, and we're going to have to get out of here and head about an hour or so to the track. I believe it's about an hour to the track and get ready for our own free practice, our own qualifying, and our own race event. And that race event will last. It's crazy. In karting, it lasts a long time. Okay, so we're gonna get there probably about that time. We'll probably start free practice around 8:30, or maybe tech inspection around 8:30. Then at 9, so we will have start free practice sessions, and they will go until probably 10 something. And then we'll give the drivers and the teams and the families a little break. And then from there, we'll start our qualifying sessions, and then we'll have lunch between 12 and 1. And then from there, we'll start our heat races. And then after heat races, we'll have the break. And then the feature races, you literally, it's a 12-hour day. It's typically a 10 to 12-hour day when we go kart racing for an event. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy for me, because then by the time I drive back home, get everything unloaded, get back comfortable, if I have any time to kind of lay it down, if I do, we'll be back up for the race event. So this weekend is gonna be a blur to me, and it's gonna be quite frankly very busy, because it's not the only thing I have to do. So I'm gonna be here with you. I'm gonna be there racing with that. Then I'm gonna come back here and be with you, and it's gonna be crazy. It's crazy anytime that these times exist for me, but often sometimes it just is. It often ends up pretty good. DRS is disabled, as you see right there, the note on the screen. DRS right here being disabled. So yeah, the track conditions warrant that. Now we're going to be able to see what they're going to do. Russell giving his press conference. Mind you, Russell, yes, right here, Russell was sitting in what place was Russell in? I just said he was sitting in 17th. Right now he's giving a press conference because he's out. He's not even going on to the next qualifying SQ3 session. I believe that these cars are probably going to come out in inters. I think that's what we're going to see. Inter tires coming out. And right now, technically, they are supposed to be on soft compound tires going into SQ3, but I think they're going to end up coming out on inters maybe. But it needs to be enough. It's a very, delicate window. There needs to be enough wetness or water on the track. And if it starts to dry up some of these teams are going to decide when or if we need to has enough of the track dried up to come out on inners, or come back in and change inners and go to slicks. That's going to be a very delicate balance. Sylvia Wick Kelly says, good luck to our baby girl. Tell her we're all behind her. I do. Matter of fact, I tell her the Wolfpack fam's behind her. She got Wolfpack all over the damn car. So, hey, I tell her, and she's very appreciative and very thankful. Also, Galactus, I saw something happen with your order due to the factory. I got you straight, bro. We should be good to go from here. And big shout out to all people supporting that. Sylvia Wick Kelly, Maria Duncan, Galactus, Ronald. I think some people have been ordering her shirts, and she's just been very appreciative and ecstatic about that. So very, very cool for that, for sure. Maybe, and this will only be for Wolfpack members only. Possibly what we do is, because she's really camera shy. She's an introvert. She's like a leader, but she's very camera shy. The camera's in her face. She's like, so we got to get her used to that. But maybe what we do towards the end of the season, maybe she comes on with me, and maybe you all can ask her some questions about what she's been experiencing, what she does. She's very animated, very much different than Joshua, where Joshua's like, hey, this. She's like, what? Like, she's very animated. So very funny character, but I am very delicate about certain things. I think you have to be when exposing kids to social media or exposing kids to that, because sometimes, somebody says something, you want to punch them in the face. They say something crazy about kids. It's wild what people say out here about kids that are trying to live. These kids are having the opportunity to do more than I did at my time growing up, because one, I didn't have money like that as a family, and raised in a little, let's just say it was a gang infested area I was raised in. I saw a lot of shit that I shouldn't have seen. Exposed to a lot of things I shouldn't have been exposed to. Drugs, guns, gang violence, murders, domestic violence, a lot of stuff. So I'm just very fortunate to be in a position to keep her away from so much of that, more so than the world has exposed us to things that we just can't get away from. Mass shootings. God bless all victims to mass shootings. You know what? Let me tell you what's crazy, and I can say this right now. We got 6 minutes on the clock, but I'm just going to share this. It was crazy for me as a parent for my child to come to me and say, Dad, what's National Rape Day? And it is very crazy that they've literally had this day. And I looked it up. I was like, how does anybody even allow this to be something? But There, oh my gosh, a Ferrari is off track, and I think it may have been Sainz. The weather is providing some challenges. But she comes to me and says, "What is National Rape Day?" And evidently, there are a group of pedophiles and violators and people that have declared a day where they're going to try to go out and violate women. And this is just a sad, and it just pissed me off to know that these kids are being exposed to this and they know about this. And it just really pissed me off. And I just hope that so many good people out in the world would be able to combat things like this and just the bullshit. It's hard for me to even explain it because I really just want to cuss and be pissed about it. That makes me want to hurt somebody to know that people are out here purposely trying to violate people in such a way that they would declare a day. It's I'm gonna chill right there. So right there, Valtteri is made it. Zhou has made it in the SQ3. Verstappen is at the top of the charts. Perez is second. Pia, and Norris coming in third and fourth. And let's see how this goes on. Right now, we got teams coupled together. Red Bull's coupled together. McLaren's coupled together. Sainz right now sitting on top. And the weather is getting worse. I said it. China is going to be a fucking challenging time. And it is showing that it is a challenging time right now. I actually like it. Now, Max Verstappen almost losing it with a fast twitch right there in that turn. Is Max Verstappen going to sit at the top for the sprint race? We don't know. This opportunity right here, Leclerc is in pit out. And I think that might have been Leclerc who spun out, put the track into kitty litter corner. Yo, it is rough for these drivers out here right now. It is bad for these drivers out here right now. They are having to do everything they can do, keep these cars on track. But can Carlos kick it up and do something right now in this opportunity? Or is he not going to be able to do as well in these conditions and bring this car to the top? Right now, Verstappen, Perez, Pia, and Norris are doing far better in these conditions than the other drivers are. Lewis Hamilton is at the very bottom in 10th right now. Yo, if there ever was a time, and some people call Lewis Hamilton the Rainmaster, is it possible that he can do something right now? He doesn't have the car to do it. So I would say no. We got 3 minutes and 40-something seconds on the clock. Pia popping the top two. Oh my gosh, I just say this. 202.598 in this session right now to go to the top of the charts in SQ3, putting McLaren right now on the front row for the sprint race. Pia showing that I can do things better in these conditions than possibly even Max Verstappen. Max is going to have another opportunity. He's getting ready to come back across. Perez, the Street King S, which is going to have to wear that S until he shows us he is again. Perez popping to the top of the charts, taking off 2 minutes, taking off 2 seconds of that time. 2 seconds off that time right there. Perez, 2.5 for Pia, 0.4 for Perez. So Perez showing, okay, we can edge out a little bit better. I got a car up underneath me. What will Verstappen do? Verstappen sinking to the bottom. Valtteri showing up in number 2. Will these conditions are going to give somebody a lottery ticket to the first 3 positions in the sprint race. Somebody's getting a lotto ticket. All right, Red Bull could possibly take 2 of those, but somebody's going to get a lottery ticket, a gold Willy Wonka ticket to the first 3 positions to start out in this sprint race. Right now, both Sauber Kick F1 stream teams together. These names are crazy right now for Formula One. But yeah, Alonso still outperforming Lance. Alonso in 5th. Alonso still always done pretty well in qualifying. So, he's doing his thing. Alonso is doing his thing. He's got a contract. He's getting a contract that is going to give him some opportunity at Aston Martin, which is something we talked about the other day. And I think Alonso's goal is to just be in Formula One longer than Lewis Hamilton. He wasn't able to beat Lewis. He didn't outperform Lewis throughout his career. So the only thing that he could possibly have over Lewis Hamilton is, I'm going to have a longer career than you. I'm going to be the longest career holding driver. That's my record. That's the record that I'm going to be able to hold to claim. And even that record is in jeopardy. The only thing that's going to keep him from having that record is if Lewis Hamilton stays in Formula One and just continues to be competitive. And he won't have that record. And I think Alonso's going to try to stay. He's going to probably do whatever he can. He's going to kiss as much ass as he can. He's going to brown nose as much as he can. He's going to be as nice as he has to be. Off in the kitty litter, jump in the damn, just a monster truck type performance right there. And I think that was Perez. Yo, Alonso to the top of the charts in SQ3. Look at him go. I think was that Max or Perez? I think that was Max that just ran off track. I need to see the number on that car. No, it may have been Perez. Just jumps over the gravel, takes that RB20 off-roading, trying to see the RB20's full capability as a machine. Can it go off-road and on-road? I want to know if I have that type of vehicle underneath me. Alonso, too. These rain conditions, giving Alonso possibly a lottery ticket to the front row. Perez not far behind him. Verstappen possibly showing that he is not able to feather these conditions well and compete well at this point in time. He still has 18 seconds to see if he can get his life together and make something happen. Now, remember what I said. Verstappen Max has shown that in challenging situations, tight windows, tire allocations, and conditions like this, that he is unable to perform so well. The Rain Master, 159.3 to close out the session. Oh my gosh, Lewis Hamilton to the top of the charts. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming whatsoever. The conditions formulating an ingredient for Lewis Hamilton to bake up and cook it up says, listen, I am the Rain Master, Wolfpack. I heard you. You questioned if I was the Rain Master. Well, let me show you something. Top of the charts, 159. Max Verstappen in number 2. Oh, my goodness. Paint this picture for Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton to go. Oh, Lando says no. I am going to be the UK driver at the top of the charts. Lando coming in, the McLaren machine, popping with a 157. 2 seconds off. Says take that, Lewis Hamilton. Sir Lewis, I know you're a knight, and I wish I... Let's get it. No, it would not happen. Lando's track time gets deleted because he exceeds track limits. You can't get away with that. No, Mutombo says. Oh, my gosh. It was short-lived. Lando was like, and then he's like, Even I was like, and I was like, So... Yeah, Lando falling back down. Track time gets deleted, exceeding limits. Lewis Hamilton restored to the top of the charts to close out this SQ3 session. This is why I wake up for this shit. Moments that happen. I don't want to be asleep and read about it later. I don't want to be asleep and watch the replay. I want to watch this shit live. I want to see it live at 5 early in the morning. It's before 5 o'clock. It's 4:20 my time. It's early as shit. Okay, so hey, this is why we do this. Mary Beanie in the chat. AM coming for kickback quality perfect. Hey, Mary Beanie, our last winner. Oh my goodness, Lando. Oh, this is bullshit, yo, do y'all see this shit? Lando's track time reinstated, yo. Come on. This is what I was saying about earlier, y'all. This is the side-eye type shit. Like, wait a minute. Track time deleted, then you reinstate it. Lewis Hamilton gets top of the charts, but then you reinstate the track time. Yo, I'm just, these are the moments. These are the moments where it's like, really? Really? You deleted it because he exceeded track limits. Now you reinstated it. Maybe they saw something on tape they didn't see before. I don't know. We'll see what happens later. There's definitely going to be a replay. There's definitely going to be camera footage. And I'm pretty sure it better be definite. It better be 100%. No question about it. Because let me tell you, in football, if you make a call and there's no proof, no defined proof that you can go against that call or for that call, then it doesn't change. There better be absolutely 100% proof that Lando's tires are not even in question of being out of limit for his time to be reinstated. If that's not the case, there's no way his time should have been reinstated. If we look at this footage and say you can't really tell, you need to stick with the first call you make. That's a little bit crazy. That's the type of suspect shit that we're talking about when we're getting into Formula One. And that was really suspect. for its time to get deleted, and all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute. Reinstate that time. Why? Now, I wonder if that's Max Verstappen, if they're reinstating that time. I'm just saying, I just got to ask these questions because these are the scenarios that pop up, and we see different outcomes when these same properties exist in situations. And hey, I might go back and watch the tape and play and see, oh yeah, there's no way they should have deleted Lando's track time. Like, he clearly was still on track. Close, but he clearly was still on track. So cool. But if I go back and watch this play and I'm like, there's some question there, you shouldn't have reinstated it. You can't reinstate a call if a situation is like questionable. If you made that call and then you're reviewing it and it's questionable, it stays that call. Now, if you made that call and you review it and it's clear cut, like, nah, we completely made a mistake, you reinstate it, you reverse it. I'm not too sure about this one. I'm definitely not too sure about this one. So we'll see what happens. But Lando right now, congratulations. SQ sprint qualifying top right there. So congratulations to Lando. Bevo Lottie got more head than he got body. Valtteri definitely got that. Lewis Hamilton pulling into second position. And like I say, it's just, I'm not really buying this shit. I'm not, at this point in time, I'm not buying it. I'm going to go back and watch a replay, but at this point in time, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm telling you, since 2021, it seemed like there was definitely an agenda put in place then, and it just seems like it's going to continue. At this point in time, it's almost like you have to do as much as you can to put so much of a vast margin between you and the officiating group that it just looks too egregious for them to overturn it. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton being cheered, where he goes, he's that guy. But yeah, that I don't know. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch that and see. That looked very fishy, but it might indeed be completely correct. So I'm not weighing either or out. I'm just stating what it should be if you look at things and how things should have to go. But I'm gonna go back and check it out and see. Somebody's definitely gonna post a replay and show that. So it is what it is. That is it. Qualifying session. There is your qualifying order right there for the sprint race. It seems like they will do anything they can do to keep Lewis Hamilton back. That's what it seems like. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is right here in this situation, because in other situations, we know damn well that's what it is. Right here in this situation, I would wonder if Lando even thinks that he really got that. I gotta go back and watch it. Maybe we come back and talk about it later. This might be a very, very pivotal, controversial moment in return to the China GP. If this is in question at all. And I think they're looking at his lap right now. Let's see. I'm going to stay on because it looks like they're looking at the lap. I want to see if they bring the lap into question or they're not. And that's another thing you have to watch out for. If they never re-show the lap for Formula One, as like Formula One showing it, like purposely showing it on public broadcast, then you have a bigger reason to question and to say, why y'all didn't really cover that? But, we're going to, trust me, there are going to be people out here analyzing this footage, going all about it, trying to see, did he actually exceed track limits? And if he did, why was his track time reinstated? We're going to see that shit. Right now, it doesn't look good. And I don't think that they're actually showing behind Lando as he's doing his press conference. No, they're not showing it. And I don't think they are going to show it. I don't think they're going to do that. They like to, push shit under the rug. Like, oh yeah, hide that shit. It's dirty. It's dirty news. Hide all that shit. By the way, finale lap, we have the LH44 flag right here. All super chats that went up to the moment that I cut them off, which would be going into this race, will be up for grabs for the raffle wheel spin of the LH43 flag. You see the official sticker right there, the hollow sticker right there. So, yeah, that's going to be up for spin wheel raffle coming up for finale lap day. Maybe we won't do a quality day. We'll do it during finale lap or doing a podcast after that. Maybe we do it for the Monday podcast or something. But it's coming up. This super chats will be boop and all names that gave super chats. So if you gave multiple, your name's on the wheel multiple times. All right. So that's the next thing up for grabs. Then following that, OG Zilla donated his $25 kickback quality winnings to a wheel spin. So after the flag is given away, the next thing that will be given away will be a $25 gift card for anybody who does super chats, and those will start from now. So any super chats from this event going forward until I do another cutoff, you will be in the runnings for that Visa gift card. So you may want to start getting onto that. So Max Verstappen ending up fourth right here. Alonso third, Hamilton second, Norris first. Fifth is Sainz. Leclerc is out of there. And those are your top five, and that's all that matters when you're in SQ3, the top five. Everybody else is just trying to get along and get in where they fit in, even though they're in the top 10. So anyway, listen, it's 4:28. I'm about to go do some things to get prepared for later on today. I will see you all soon. You know what I say when I'm getting out of here. Wolfpack out. Peace.